Families come in all shapes and sizes. Therefore, children should be able to see themselves and their family structures depicted in stories they read and also connect with. So in celebration of National Family Literacy and National Adoption Month, a new children's book is helping kids learn how diverse families are made complete through adoption. Joining us today in the studio is children's author Adam Swain Ferguson, along with his illustrator Veronica Stanley-Hooper, to talk about their new children's book, Love Without Wings, an Adoption Fairytale. Welcome, Adam and Veronica.
Thank you. Hello.
It's so great to have you today. I was going through your book, and it's beautifully illustrated and beautifully written. So to be able to put those two passions together must be such an exciting project for you both.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think Veronica could have captured, the love that I put into this book any better than she did. It was just perfect.
So, Adam, I hear you are a proud father of a little boy and this beautiful new book of yours, and years of waiting and wishing. Can you take us through our journey of how all this came to fruition?
Well, my husband and I had been trying to adopt for about 2 years, and we had finally gotten to the point where we had just given up hope. We didn't think that it was going to happen for us. And so kind of when all was lost and we kind of resigned ourselves to the fact, well, maybe this isn't how our family story is going to work out, we ended up getting a call about what was to be our son. And he was born 2 months later, and everything just happened so fast. So I started telling him, I always wanted to be open about adoption, that he always know his story. So I started coming up with Love Without Wings, and it changed just a little bit every night. I started telling it to him, and then one day I'm like, this is actually really, really good. And, I think it's so important for adopted children to know their own story. And I decided to write it down and got quickly connected with Veronica, and the rest is history.
Yeah, Veronica, can you walk us through the process of what it was like to capture Adam's story through illustration?
Yeah, well, when I talked to Adam for the first time, I learned pretty quickly that this story didn't need a traditional cartoony type style. It needed something a little more painterly, and something that, I really put some artistry into. And that's really what I felt through illustrating each page and each segment of the story. I really wanted to embody the heart and the feeling behind the story, and really give it the judgment and the treatment that it deserved.
I think you did that beautifully. Adam, can you walk us through your book and what children and parents and families are going to learn while reading your story?
Well, it's a book about adoption, but what I think on its own, it's kind of a classic fairy tale too. Adoption's the theme of the book, but it kind of takes the back seat. So you can read the story to children whether they're adopted or not, but you're also, teaching them something too. You're introducing the subject of adoption and teaching them that there are all different types of families.
Right.
And so that's what I was really trying to capture as I was writing that.
So there are so many parents out there who are experiencing, their own challenges with adopting and their little ones. So what are some words of encouragement that you can offer them as someone who went through that experience?
Hold on to hope. That's really the most important thing. And it sounds like such a cliche because it was told to me over and over, because there were times that I would find myself, just crying like, this isn't going to happen for us. But it's in that moment that we just kind of let go that it happened. We got the call out of nowhere, and it's the craziest thing. Sometimes the reason that you're picked, it's not it's not the house you have, it's not where you live, it's not your income. It all comes down to just a connection and making a human connection sometimes with the biological parents. And that was certainly true in our case. And it's just really hold on to hope, because at the end of it, it's just completely worth it. We'd been presented with a few different opportunities before our son was born, none of which came to fruition, but I can't imagine any of them coming to fruition now, because our son, he's just so perfect, and he's the one who was meant to be with us.
Right, the story unfolded the way that it was meant to unfold.
Yeah.
Just like how your book was written.
For sure.
I love that so much. So if our viewers want to get a hold of this amazing story and share it with their families and their children, how can they do that?
Well, they can go to my website, purplefoxentertainment.com. They can order there. We also have it available on Amazon for pre-order. It comes out on Saturday, November 19th.
Perfect.
Yep. But if they order from my website, I'm always happy to send a little note along or something. I love the personal connection, doing it that way as opposed to, an online retailer like Amazon.
I love that. I've had a few books with notes from authors, and it's such a special touch. So it's really great that you give that to literally everyone if they order from your website. It was so great to meet you, Adam, and hear your story. And your illustrations were beautiful, beautiful, Veronica. Thank you for sharing them with the world.
Thank you so very much for having us. Really appreciate it.